Welcome to the OOV Daily Reflection for Monday, August 2nd. The first reading for today's Mass comes to us from the 11th chapter of the book of Numbers. It reads, "The children of Israel lamented, 'Would that we had food for meat. We remember the fish we used to eat without cost in Egypt, and the cucumbers, the melons, the leeks, the onions, and the garlic. But now we are famished. We see nothing before us but this manna.' Manna was like coriander seed and had the color of raisin. When they had gone about and gathered it up, the people would grind it between millstones or pound it in a mortar, then cook it in a pot and make it into loaves, which was tasted like cakes made with oil. At night, when the dew fell upon the camp, the manna also fell. When Moses heard the people, family after family, crying at the entrance of their tents, so that the Lord became very angry. He was grieved. 'Why do you treat your servant so badly?' Moses asked the Lord. 'Why are you so displeased with me that you burden me with all this people? Was I who conceived all this people? Or was it I who gave them birth, that they tell me to carry them at my bosom, like a foster father carrying an infant, to the land you have promised under oath to their fathers? Where can I get meat to give to all this people? For they are crying out to me, 'Give us meat for our food.' I cannot carry all this people by myself, for they are too heavy for me. If this is the way you deal with me, then please do me the favor of killing me at once, so that I need no longer face this distress." The final words of today's passage speaks to how frustrated Moses was with the situation that he and the people of Israel faced. And I hope that none of us ever find ourselves saying to God that we'd rather die than deal with the challenges and frustrations of our lives like Moses. But I also can imagine that there's probably a good chance that at least a few of you can sympathize with Moses and his predicament. The challenges and frustrations of life can add up very quickly, and they can be very daunting. But if we continue to read this 11th chapter of the book of Numbers, we'd hear that God did answer Moses' prayer. God would take some of his spirit from Moses and give it to 70 elders from among the people of Israel, and they would help in governing the people. So this direct and forthright prayer of Moses was heard by the Lord and answered. Now, again, it's my sincere hope and prayer that no one would ever feel as hopeless as Moses did in facing the situations of their life. But I do believe that if you do, we have a good model. We need to face it with a direct and honest response to God. So by our prayer, by our forthrightness, we can let the Lord into our situation and help us to direct the challenges and frustrations. But I also should mention that an honest sharing of our lives with God is the first step, and then we just have to wait for the Lord to act. And again, the Lord will act. Maybe not in the way we want or within the time frame we want, but again, God will act. He will help us. And furthermore, we might even be surprised by the way that God works to help and support us through the difficulties and frustrations of our life. So, prayer is always the most important aspect of our lives, and one of the first places we should turn when we face challenges and frustrations. Because God can do amazing things with us when we are open to His grace, His love, and mercy. And furthermore, we should never be surprised when God also might be calling us, like Moses, to share the burdens of our lives with others. Because again, if Moses was not upright and honest in prayer, he would not have gotten the help he so desperately needed. So God does not always want us to carry burdens alone, but actually may be calling us to share those burdens, those frustrations, those challenges with others. So again, we are never alone. And if we open our lives to God, amazing things can happen to help us to deal with the realities we face in our lives. So remember, we're never alone. Our God is always ready and willing to help and support us no matter what we face. Our Lady of Victory, pray for us.